The summer movie season is kicking off, and we went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in IMAX 3D. That's right, in IMAX 3D, but is it any good? We'll talk. Hi, how you doing today? It's Just Jess here. I hope you're having a good day. And today, yes, so we went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in IMAX 3D, but is it worth it in that format? Honestly, absolutely yes. Why? The movie is literally filmed for IMAX. So what does that mean for you as a viewer? You see up to 26% more screen only in IMAX. Now, just because you have the bigger screen, you also get the extended aspect ratio from 2.9, 2.1 instead of the standard 2.40, 2.1. Here, I'll put a picture on the screen right now to show you, and yes, it is for Volume 2, which is the second movie, and I get it, the date says May 5th, 2017, but I'm just showing you that if you're not watching in IMAX, and this is no sponsor, by the way, I mean, hopefully in the future they do sponsor me or something like that, but that's later on. I'm just saying, I'm always advocate for the most premium theater format possible here on this channel. I love going to see an IMAX 3D, and I'm just showing you that IMAX takes full advantage, not just of the bigger screen size, but the bigger aspect ratio that you're seeing in theaters. So you can see the picture on the screen for you right now. As you can see, the IMAX screen has a bigger aspect ratio and a bigger screen, so you see more of the movie than you would in your non-traditional IMAX screening. You also take advantage of the proprietary sound system that provides powerful in-depth audio experience. The 3D in my part was okay. Probably regular IMAX would suffice, but it is a nice addition in my opinion. And this is not just me shouting from the rooftops that you should go see in IMAX. I mean, personally for me on this YouTube channel, you know that we always go see it in the movies in the most premium theater format possible, whether that be IMAX, Dolby, IMAX 3D, 4DX, whatever the case may be. But since the movie is literally filmed for IMAX, I on this channel try to relay this information for you folks to give you a better comprehensive, better review. Now, I understand, and I was talking to Mr. J, shout out to you, because we were talking about it. Not every IMAX is created equal. I live in Chicago, Illinois, and in Chicago, Illinois, I have like 10 theaters that have IMAX. However, he's right, not every IMAX is created equal. He said that he doesn't go see IMAX because their sound system is crackly, and you're right. You know what? There's some IMAX theaters that even though I'm in Chicago, Illinois, I would not go because they just don't feel as big, or it's called live IMAX. I mean, yeah, you'll still get the bigger expanded ratio, but audio is like 50% of the video. If your sound system at like your local theaters, and that might be AMC theaters, which is what I go to, could be something else, and if it's not working, then of course, like you would want to go Dolby, which is still another premium theater screen, which is a bigger screen than the traditional standard screen. But like I said, some IMAX, and like I've been going to the theaters for like 10 years, so I kind of know which IMAX is like the best ones in my area. But he's absolutely right, not every IMAX is created equal. Just trying to get you information for you to get with us, folks. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is an epic space, fun, adventure, funny, action adventure, heartbreaking, heartwarming, very emotional, involving the Guardians of the Galaxy in their last outing movie. James Gunn is directing this movie, and it feels like his overall goodbye, because I don't know if you know that he's going to DC, so this is like his farewell gift to us as Marvel fans, but I'm still excited to see what he can do with the DC side. So now Marvel and DC are competing for a bigger audience. After an intense battle with Adam Warlock, one of the Guardians of the Galaxy is close to death, so they search far and wide to find out medicine. Can they find a cure? How do we cure this individual? Notice that I'm not doing any spoilers. I'm not gonna mention if it's a guy or if it's a girl, but it's one of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're trying to save their family, so they scour the space, going from planet to planet to try to find information on how to stop this individual from death. And of course, no spoilers, we dive deep into Rocket's history, as well as differentiating themselves in the core dynamics, plus also deepening the connections and relationship after Endgame, Infinity War, as well as the new Gamora. She's present in this film. Now, if you don't know, Infinity War and Endgame, the Gamora that traveled with these guys in the first two movies died in the hands of Thanos. But this new Gamora has no recollection of those memories. This is literally the Gamora before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, so she has not devoured, or should I say connected with her Guardians, just in the past two previous installments, which I did see in theaters. That's right, in theaters, but also rewatched them right before I watched this in IMAX 3D. Now, I don't know. I don't think Marvel has lost their magic, or it could just be because James Gunn is directing it. I mean, I always look at the glass half full. I always try to be optimistic about things. I'm not really pessimistic, so I'm so hopeful for the future. But this still feels like a Guardians Galaxy movie. Now, what does that mean when I say that? It has an amazing soundtrack, just like the other ones, except for this one, you bring it up to the new era with the 2000s. with the Zune, remember, that we saw in the volume 2. But honestly, guys, this is more very emotional. It is more emotional than the other films because this is their farewell. Now, I'm not gonna say if someone dies or doesn't die, but since we have the old Gamora here, it's nice how she interacts with her Guardians of the Galaxy as they go on this epic sci-fi fantasy space adventure to try to save one of the Galaxy Guardians. But it's not just her interactions with Peter Quill, it's also with Nebula, with Groot, with Drax. It's her interactions with these guys and how they interact with her, because it's like a shift in the overall core dynamic with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Since she is the old version of herself, it's hard to take in, but easier for the writing process because they could create new, interesting dynamics. How do they talk to Quill, especially Nebula, since these guys went after Endgame in Infinity War. Remember, this Gamora has no, I mean, obviously she was in Endgame and she fought, but she didn't fight like in Infinity War. She doesn't even know what happened in Infinity War. This is an old Gamora. So the way the writing team, James Gunn, the directors here, or the people who made this movie, interacted with the new Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought it was pretty cool because it gives us a new, fresh taste of breath air into these Guardians of the Galaxy that we've not seen before. Now, of course, Adam Warlock is a nice addition to the movie. We don't get to see a lot of screen time from him, but the screen time that we do when he fights with the Guardians, when he fights against the Guardians, and maybe with the Guardians, it is nice to see with the powers that he incorporates into this movie. Movie has a lot of action with amazing soundtrack as we traverse from planet to planet, finding information and medicine to save one of our fellow family members that are close to death, but also deepening the relationships with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So every single time the movie transverse to like a new planet, we know different stuff from Gamora's side, Nebula's side, Peter Quill's side. Remember, this is an outing with a runtime of 2 hours and 29 minutes. Google says. Now, I don't know if we can trust Google, by the way, but at the end of the day, it shows us the incline to the climax as well as the decline into the resolve of the final of this movie. Now, one thing that I do want to point out, this feels, yeah, of course, space is space, so it does feel more of a CGI film, but it's better and comprehensive and better immersed CGI since I saw this in IMAX 3D rather than comparing to Ant-Man Quantumania. Now, I'm not trying to say that that movie was bad, but this movie absolutely is a better fit, in my opinion, than Quantumania, because Guardians of the Galaxy, if you don't know, it's always about them transversing space and everything. Ant-Man was different, not in terms because it wasn't an Ant-Man film, it just felt a little different since it wasn't all taking place in the society that we live in. Guardians of the Galaxy, to me, with the amazing soundtrack and with the core dynamics that we've loved, I mean, literally it's almost 9 years in the making since the first one came out. We traverse these lands as these Guardians have already grown to like love each other as family, like Fast and the Furious. As the movie progresses, we cut away to show scenes of the Rocket's past and how his past traumas affect him and the outcome that the Guardians are going through now, but we learn a little bit of how he came to be and why it's important for us to know these things and for the things that are taking place and happening right now. The movie juggles from drama, comedy, and emotion to action, and it feels like a nice pace, especially in a feel-good roller coaster type of vibe. The action, especially in IMAX 3D, was amazing and it served the story purpose forward, especially that shot of the hallway scene that if you get to chance to see it in that format was amazing because with the music, camera cuts, and with the angles, I thought it was amazing to watch this in that format. All in all, guys, I may not agree with the ending, but I do respect it. Now, of course, that we know that these Guardians are still coming back in future installments. I mean, some actors might stop playing them, but trust me, they're still gonna be back, and of course, it says in the end credits that they'll be back. At the end of the day, guys, I'm gonna give this an A. This is an amazing movie. I don't think Marvel has lost their touch, but still, at the end of the day, it could be because of James Gunn. I had a fun time watching this. I'm definitely gonna go watch this again, and I'm excited to go. If you made it this far, I appreciate you so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video, and don't forget to subscribe, and bye.